welcome. Tonight we drift together toward one of the smallest wonders the sky ever makes. The snowflake, a single crystal of ice grown high in the cold and let fall, slow and silent, through the winter dark. There is nothing to do and nothing to hold. Let the wondering be light, and let it carry you toward sleep. We will move without hurry through real science and honest wonder, returning again and again to what is calm and true. Each fact is a small cool light, offered only to ease your mind toward rest. You do not need to follow every thought. Let the words settle over you the way snow settles over a still field at night. Some things are old and certain, some are still being studied, and all of them are safe to fall asleep inside. Tonight's journey reaches into the heart of frozen water. How a wisp of vapor becomes a six-sided star, why no two large flakes are quite alike, and why a field of fallen snow glows so softly white beneath the winter sky. So settle in. Let your breath slow and your shoulders ease. Somewhere far above, in the cold quiet of a cloud, crystals of ice are forming and falling, and we will rest right here beneath them tonight. A single snowflake can seem like such a small and fleeting thing, a speck of white that melts at a touch, and yet the story folded inside it is enormous, reaching from the molecules of water to the whole turning sky. For as long as there has been winter, there has been snow, falling soft and silent over the sleeping world, each flake a tiny crystal carrying its own quiet history of cloud and cold. Tonight we will not rush through that story. We will linger in it, the way stillness lingers over a field after the last flake has fallen, soft and unhurried and kind. There is nothing here to trouble you. The world of snow is intricate, yes, but it is also deeply peaceful, a place of cool light, gentle patterns, and slow, steady wonder. So let us begin softly, holding this small frozen marvel in our minds, and let its quiet making become the lullaby that eases you down into sleep. Here is the first quiet truth of snow. A snowflake is not a frozen raindrop, nor a frozen droplet of any kind, but something stranger and lovelier, a single crystal of ice grown straight from water vapor in the cold. It is built molecule by molecule from water that was once a gas drifting unseen in the air, gathering into a solid lattice of ice without ever passing through a liquid drop at all. This is why a snow crystal has such order and such symmetry, for it is grown, not splashed together, each part laid down in its place by the slow, unhurried chemistry of freezing. A raindrop is shapeless, a blob of water pulled round by its own surface. A snow crystal is a true crystal, with flat faces and sharp angles, a small architecture made of frozen water. So the next time snow falls, you may picture each flake not as frozen rain, but as a tiny grown crystal, a piece of ordered ice that drifted down whole from the cold heart of a cloud. Let us follow how a snow crystal is born, for it begins in a way that feels almost magical, water vapor turning directly into solid ice, skipping the liquid stage entirely. This direct turning of a gas into a solid is called deposition, and it is the very heart of how snow is made, vapor settling onto ice and freezing into place without ever becoming a drop. High in a cold cloud, water vapor drifts among tiny crystals of ice, and where the air is cold and moist enough, that vapor freezes straight onto them, adding to them molecule by molecule. So a snow crystal grows the way frost grows on a cold window, not by water flowing and freezing, but by vapor settling silently into ice, building outward in delicate ordered steps. It is a calm and unhurried making, this growth from vapor, and from it comes all the intricate beauty of snow, each crystal slowly assembled from the invisible moisture of the air. Every snow crystal begins around a tiny speck, a microscopic seed upon which the first ice can form, for water vapor needs something to gather on before it can freeze into a crystal. This seed is called a nucleus, and it may be a mote of dust, a grain of pollen, a fleck of clay lifted from the ground, or some other tiny particle carried high into the clouds. Around this small core the first ice forms, and once that beginning exists, more vapor can settle onto it, and the crystal slowly grows outward from its tiny hidden heart. So at the center of nearly every snowflake lies something that was never water at all, a speck of the earth lifted skyward, now wrapped in the ice it helped to make. It is a quiet thought to rest upon, that each soft flake of snow was born around a fragment of dust, the sky and the earth meeting in the making of a single crystal. There is one feature of snow that has drawn human wonder for centuries, the thing everyone notices first, that a snow crystal so often has 6 sides, 6 arms, a 6-fold symmetry repeated again and again. Look closely at a star-shaped flake and you will find 6 arms, not 5, not 7, spaced evenly around its center, each one a near twin of the others reaching out into the cold. Why 6? It is a question people have asked for a very long time, sensing that such constant order could be no accident, but must spring from something deep in the nature of ice itself. The answer, as we shall see, lies hidden far below sight, in the way the smallest building blocks of water fit together when they freeze, a pattern that shapes the whole. So hold that gentle question as we drift onward, why 6, and let it be a small bright thread to follow, leading us down into the very structure of frozen water. To understand the 6-fold shape of snow, we must look smaller than the eye can reach, down to the molecules of water themselves and the way they arrange when they freeze. Each water molecule is a small thing with a particular shape, and when water freezes into ordinary ice, these molecules link together into a regular, repeating, 6-sided pattern. This ordered arrangement is called a crystal lattice, and the lattice of ordinary ice has a hexagonal form, the molecules settling into rings of 6 again and again throughout. So the 6-fold symmetry we admire in a snowflake is not painted on from outside. It rises from within, an echo at the visible scale of the hidden 6-sided order of the ice. It is a lovely thing to consider as you settle that the shape of a snow crystal large enough to land on your sleeve is set by the quiet geometry of molecules far too small to ever see. Let us look a little closer still at why ice takes a 6-sided form, for it comes from the gentle way water molecules link to one another when the cold draws them together. Each water molecule can join with its neighbors through a kind of soft chemical bond, a weak link between them, and these links pull the molecules into a particular tidy arrangement. Because of the angles built into the water molecule, The tidiest way for many of them to bond is into open rings of 6, a roomy hexagonal network with space held inside. This open 6-sided network is why ice is lighter than liquid water and floats, and it is the same network that, grown outward, gives the snow crystal its 6-fold form. So the snowflake's 6 arms are, in the end, a story of how water molecules join hands in the cold, settling into 6s, the small bond shaping the whole crystal that we see. Here is one of the quietest marvels of a snow crystal, that its 6 arms growing outward separately so often end up looking almost exactly alike, matching one another in fine detail. Each arm grows on its own, adding ice from the vapor around it, and yet the 6 arms develop together in a kind of unspoken agreement, branching at the same places in the same way. The reason is that all 6 arms share the same small journey through the cloud, meeting the same changing cold and moisture moment by moment as the crystal drifts and grows. Since the conditions that shape each arm are nearly the same at every instant, the arms grow nearly the same, 6 matched branches recording one shared passage through the air. So the symmetry of a snowflake is, in a sense, a record of a single journey, each arm a faithful copy of the others because all 6 rode the same path through the cold together. Let us pause and simply drift for a moment. No new facts now, only the soft white hush of falling snow, a gentle quiet settling over the calm field of the mind. Breathe in slowly and picture a single flake drifting down before you, slow and silent, turning gently as it falls through the still cold air. Breathe out and let a little of that calm loosen your shoulders. There is so much gentle wonder in the falling snow, and a little of its peace is yours to rest in tonight. Now we come to one of the deepest and most beautiful facts about snow, that the shape a crystal takes depends closely on the temperature and the moisture of the air in which it grows. Snow does not always make the classic 6-armed star. It can grow as flat plates, as slender columns, as fine needles, or as elaborate ferns, and which it becomes is set by the cold and the damp. A small change in temperature can change the whole form, turning a growing crystal from a plate into a column, or from a simple shape into an intricate branching star. So the air itself writes the shape of each flake, the particular cold and moisture of each layer of cloud, guiding the ice to grow one way rather than another. It is a quiet wonder that the weather and the form are so tied that to read a snowflake's shape is, in a way, to read the cold conditions of the cloud where it was born. It is humbling to think how many snowflakes fall in even a single storm, a number beyond all counting, each one a unique crystal, each one grown and fallen unseen. A single snowfall lays down crystals past any reckoning, drifting down by the uncountable multitude, each as intricate as the last, each different, each soon gone. That so many small perfections should fall together, unnumbered and mostly unobserved, is a quiet astonishment, a generosity of beauty poured down without witness. We see only the white blanket they make together, never the countless individual crystals within it, each one a marvel hidden in the soft mass of the whole. So every snowfall is a vast, quiet shower of small perfections, more than the mind can hold, drifting down by the countless multitude into the deep white silence of winter. Snow marks the turning of the year, the deep point of the seasons, the cold heart of winter when the world draws inward and grows quiet beneath its white cover. It comes as the days grow short and the cold settles in, and it lingers through the long dark months, the soft sign of the year at its stillest and most inward turn. And when at last it melts and flows away, it marks the turning toward spring, the cold loosening, the world waking, the snow giving its water to the greening land. So snow is bound up with the rhythm of the year, the sign of winter's depth and the herald, in its melting of the spring to come, woven into the great turning of the seasons. It is a calming thing to feel that rhythm, the snow coming and lying and melting in its time, the seasons turning surely on, the cold always followed in the end by the thaw. There is a special quiet beauty in snow falling on still water, the flakes drifting down to vanish without a sound upon the dark, calm surface of a winter pond. Each flake meets the water and is gone, melting at the touch, the snow disappearing softly into the dark mirror even as more drifts endlessly down from above. The dark, still water shows the falling snow against it, the white flakes drifting down toward their own reflections, meeting and vanishing in a slow, endless silence. It is among winter's most peaceful sights, this soft fall of snow upon dark, calm water, the crystals arriving and dissolving without a ripple in the quiet cold. So picture, as you drift, snow falling slow upon a dark, still pond, each flake vanishing softly into the water, the whole scene hushed and calm and deeply at peace. High on the mountains, snow gathers deep and lingers long, crowning the peaks in white far into the warm seasons, the cold of altitude holding the snow when the lowlands have lost it. The mountains catch the moist air and lift it into the cold, wringing out the snow upon their heights, gathering it in great depths upon their slopes and summit. So the high peaks wear white, long after the valleys have greened, holding the winter's snow in their cold heights, a brightness upon the mountains seen from far below. And from that mountain snow flows much of the water of the lower lands, the slow melt feeding the rivers through the warm months, the heights giving down their stored white. So the snowy mountains are great quiet keepers of the winter, holding the cold and the white high above, and giving their gathered snow slowly back to the world below. To look closely at a single snow crystal is to find within it a tiny world, an intricate landscape of ice, with its branches and plates and fine fretted edges all its own. Each crystal has its own particular form, its own arrangement of arms and branches, a small unique architecture grown from its own unique fall through the cold. Within that small world lies the whole story of its making, the cold and the moisture it met, the journey it took, all written in the shape it carries down to us. So to study one flake closely is to read one small frozen world, complete in itself, holding its own quiet history in the geometry of its ice. It is a lovely thought to settle into, that each tiny flake is a whole small world of its own, unique and complete, melting away with all its quiet detail untold. A snowflake is precious in part because it is so fragile, a delicate thing of thin ice that the lightest warmth or touch will undo, its beauty bound up with its frailty. Its fine arms and branches are easily broken, its whole form dissolved by a single warm breath, so that to hold one whole even for a moment is a small, careful gift. This fragility is no flaw but part of its tenderness, the snowflake too delicate to keep, meant only to be glimpsed and let go, lovely in its very impermanence. So we cannot hold the snowflake, only watch it for a moment, and let it pass, its beauty given freely and never grasped, fleeting and frail and dear. It is a gentle truth to rest within, that the loveliest things are often the most fragile, the snowflake among them, perfect in passing, asking only to be seen. Snow remakes the land it falls upon, softening every contour, rounding every edge, drawing a smooth white cover over the rough and varied face of the winter world. Under deep snow, the familiar landscape grows simple and soft, its details buried, its shapes gentled, the whole scene quieted into smooth white curves and hollows. It hides the worn and weary face of late autumn beneath a clean white covering, the tired land made fresh and soft and still under the snow's quiet blanket. So a snowfall is a kind of gentle renewal of the land, a soft white page laid over all that lay before, the world made simple and clean and quiet beneath it. It is a peaceful transformation to behold, the rough land smoothed and softened, the tired world dressed fresh in white, all made calm and clean beneath the snow. There is a soft inner light to ice and snow, a way that light enters and glows within the translucent crystals rather than simply bouncing off their surface. Because snow crystals are clear, light passes into them and glows softly within before scattering out, lending fresh snow a luminous quality, lit from within as much as without. This inner glow is part of why snow seems to shine so gently, the light not merely reflected, but passing through the countless clear crystals and softly diffusing. A single icicle or a clear crystal shows this best, the light entering and glowing within, the ice luminous and alive with the light it lets pass through. So the glow of snow is a glow from within as well as without, the clear ice letting light enter and shine softly inside it, luminous and gentle and cool. Imagine, as you drift, a single snowflake resting on a dark surface, lit softly so its 6 arms glow pale against the deep, its fine branching clear and still. It rests there quiet and complete, a tiny 6-fold star of ice, its delicate arms reaching out evenly, its whole small form glowing faintly in the soft, cool light. There is nothing to do but look at it, this one perfect crystal held still for a moment, its intricate beauty laid open in the calm before it melts away. Let the eye rest on its quiet symmetry, the 6 matched arms, the feathered branches, the clear glowing ice, a small perfect world held still in the gentle dark. So hold that one soft flake in mind as you settle, a single crystal glowing pale on the dark, calm and complete, easing you gently toward sleep. Snow is far older than any winter we can remember, falling upon the world for ages beyond counting, the same sixfold crystals forming long before there was anyone to watch them. Across the deep reaches of time, whenever the air grew cold and moist enough, snow has formed and fallen, the same quiet physics making the same crystals age after age. So when we watch snow fall, we watch something truly ancient, a making as old as cold and water themselves, repeated unchanged across an immense depth of years. There is a calm in that antiquity, the sense of a thing far older than ourselves, the snow that falls tonight, the kin of snow that fell unseen in ages long before us. So snow connects us to something old and enduring, the same crystals falling now as fell upon a world with no one in it, the quiet ice forming on as it always has. Scientists have drawn a kind of map that shows which snow shapes grow at which temperatures and which levels of moisture, a chart now often called the Nakaya diagram. It is named for the researcher who first traced it carefully, and it gathers into one picture the link between the cold, the damp, and the form a snow crystal takes as it grows. Reading across this map, you find plates in some bands of cold columns and needles in others, and the grand branching stars in the band most beloved of all. The map shows that moisture matters too, for the wetter the air, the more elaborate and branching the crystal tends to grow, while drier air yields simpler, plainer forms. So this gentle chart turns the chaos of snowfall into a kind of order, showing that beneath the endless variety lies a quiet pattern, shape following faithfully from cold and damp. There is a soft thread of number running through snow in its sixfold symmetry, in the angles of its arms and the countless molecules ordered within each tiny crystal. The 60 degrees between the arms, the 6 sides of every plate and column, the vast tally of molecules in the lattice, all follow a quiet and constant order. These are not cold rules, but the gentle regularities of how ice grows, the numbers that the snowflake quietly keeps, the same in every flake that falls. There is a calm beauty in that order, the sense that even snow so soft and so various moves to a hidden constancy of number beneath its endless changing forms. So the snowflake keeps a quiet arithmetic, the 6 and the lattice, and the countless molecules, a soft order beneath the white, lovely to glimpse and soothing to rest upon. After all we have wandered through tonight, it is worth asking softly why snow should amaze us so, why we return to it again and again with such quiet wonder. Perhaps it is the smallness and the order together, the sense that something so common should be so finely made, so perfectly symmetric, so endlessly varied. Perhaps it is the quiet it brings, the way snow stills and softens the world, the deep calm of a snowy night calling straight to our longing for peace and rest. Whatever the reason, snow has held our wonder across all the ages, and holds it still, this soft white gift of cold and water falling unnumbered from the winter sky. So it is no wonder we have come to it tonight, seeking calm in its quiet making, and finding in the science and the silence a soft and lasting peace. Snow does not stand apart, but lives woven deep within the whole of winter, bound to the cold and the short days, the frost and the ice, the long inward turn of the year. It comes with the deep cold and the gray skies, lies among the frost and the frozen water, and gives its melt at last to the spring, part of the whole great cycle of the season. And winter, in turn, would not be winter without the snow, the white that defines the season, the soft cover that quiets the world and marks the year at its stillest depth. So snow and winter hold each other, each part of the other, the soft white crystals woven through the whole of the cold season's quiet and inward beauty. It is a soothing thought to rest upon, this deep belonging, the snow nested within the winter, like a soft white heart at the still center of the year. Looking back across all we have spoken of, it is striking how much the careful study of snow has taught us about the quiet workings of water and cold and crystal. It has shown us that a flake is a single crystal grown from vapor, that its six-fold form springs from the lattice of ice, that its shape follows from cold and moisture. It has revealed the map of snow shapes, the honest truth behind no two alike, the kinship of frost and rime and snow, and the slow turning of snow into ice. And it has done so gently, through long cold hours of watching and growing and asking, drawing the secrets of snow little by little out of mystery and into soft understanding. So we owe a quiet debt to that devoted study, for all it has shown us of the soft white crystals, gathered gently across centuries of devoted and loving attention. Now let the great science of snow grow soft and distant, all its maps and crystals and lattices easing into the background, like a snowy field glimpsed from far away. There is nothing left for you to learn tonight, no shape to name, no journey to trace. There is only this one moment and the easy rise and fall of your own breathing. Let the whole story of snow become a soft white quiet at the edge of your mind, the science a faint hum, the crystals a gentle blur, all of it calm and far and fading. You are not the watcher now, but the quiet mind at rest, the wondering done, the cold grown gentle, the thoughts settling soft as snow toward their own deep rest. So let your thoughts settle like snow drifting down across a sleeping field, slow and silent, gathering soft and deep in the warm and gentle dark. Picture, as you settle deeper, a still field beneath a falling snow, the flakes drifting down without sound, the world growing soft and white and deeply at peace. There is no hurry here, no task, no thought to hold. There is only the slow fall of the snow, the deepening white, the soft quiet settling over everything around you. The snow drifts down endlessly and slow, each flake a tiny, perfect crystal, all of them gathering soft and deep, hushing the world into a gentle white stillness. It is a deep and lovely peace, the peace of the snowfall, the world quieted beneath the soft white descent, calm and silent, and asking nothing of you at all. So let that peace be yours tonight, the calm of the falling snow, the soft white quiet, the slow endless drift easing you down toward the gentle dark of sleep. One more gentle rest before we near the end. Let every fact and wonder grow distant and small, like a snowy field seen from far away, calm and white and soft in the fading light. You have wandered through the whole quiet world of snow tonight, the crystals and the science, the frost and the deep white fields, and now there is nowhere left to go but rest. Let the whole soft world of snow settle into a single quiet feeling of peace. The gentle white softens in the last of the dusk, and slowly it lets you go to sleep. We have come a long way tonight, from a single speck of dust in a cold cloud, through the whole quiet science of snow, the six-fold lattice and the branching arms, the frost and the rime and the deep white fields. We found again and again the same gentle truth that snow is a small perfection grown from the simplest things, water and cold and the quiet order of ice. There is nothing left to do now but rest. The world is at rest too, hushed beneath the falling snow, the field growing soft and white and still in the gentle dark. So let the whole quiet world of snow become a lullaby, the crystals and the science all softening into the calm that carries you gently toward sleep. Let go and drift. The snow will keep falling soft and silent through the night to come, and tonight its quiet science and its deep white peace have eased you, with great care, all the way down toward rest. Our journey is ending now, here in the soft white hush of a field beneath the falling snow, the crystals drifting down without sound, the gentle day folding softly toward its close. Let the facts and the wonders fade away like snow settling slow across a sleeping field, gathering deeper and softer until only a calm and gentle white remains around you. You carry within you now a whole quiet world of snow, the six-fold crystals and the deep white fields, the science and the silence, resting softly now in the gentle dark. Breathe slowly now, and let each breath carry you a little deeper toward sleep, while outside in the quiet dark, the snow goes on falling soft and silent through the night. Sleep well. The snow will keep falling gently through the night to come, and the soft white quiet of it will hold you all the way until morning. Good night. Let us walk slowly through the snow shapes the map reveals, beginning with the plates, the flat six-sided crystals that grow when the cold is only mild, not far below freezing. A plate is a thin hexagonal disk of ice, smooth and simple, sometimes clear as glass, sometimes traced with faint lines and sectors within its six straight sides. In the band of cold just a little below freezing, snow tends to grow as these flat plates, the vapor settling onto the broad faces and spreading the crystal outward and thin. Plates can be plain or finely patterned, and the loveliest of them carry delicate sprigs growing from their six corners, a hint of the grander branching to come in colder air. So picture, as you drift, these calm, flat crystals, simple six-sided plates of clear ice forming in the mild cold and settling slowly toward the waiting ground. As the cold deepens to a certain band, snow stops growing as flat plates and turns instead to slender shapes, the needles and the columns, long where the plates were broad. A column is a short six-sided rod of ice, like a tiny hexagonal pencil, sometimes hollow at its ends, growing tall rather than wide in this particular range of cold. A needle is finer still, a thin frozen spike, and in some conditions snow falls as clusters of these slender needles tangled softly together as they drift down. It is the same water, the same six-fold lattice, yet here it builds upward into rods and spines rather than outward into plates, the cold guiding the growth along a different axis. So in this band of deeper cold the sky makes not stars but slender forms, fine columns and needles of ice drifting quietly down through the winter air. Now we reach the most beloved snow shape of all, the grand six-armed star, the stellar dendrite, which grows in a particular band of deeper cold where branching runs riot. Here the crystal sends out 6 arms, and along each arm grow countless smaller branches, fern upon fern, until the whole flake is a delicate lace of ice, intricate beyond easy counting. These are the snowflakes of imagination, the ones we picture when we think of snow, the perfect 6-pointed stars feathered with fine branching detail on every arm. They grow in this band because the conditions here drive the tips of the arms to grow fastest, sprouting branch after branch in the lovely runaway pattern we call dendritic. So the most ornate of all snowflakes belong to a certain depth of cold, and when the air sits in that band, the sky fills with tiny 6-armed stars drifting softly down. There is a quiet surprise hidden in the map of snow, for as the cold grows deeper still past the band of grand stars, the crystals turn back toward simpler columns once more. In the very coldest air where snow forms, the elaborate branching falls away, and the ice grows again into plain 6-sided columns, plain forms returning at the far end of the. So the shapes do not simply grow more complex as it gets colder. They shift back and forth, plates, then columns, then stars, then columns again, in a pattern that loops as the cold deepens. This back and forth puzzled scientists for a long while. This strange returning of simple shapes in the deepest cold, and parts of why it happens are still gently studied today. So even the map of snow holds its mysteries, the forms looping as the cold deepens in a way we can chart, but cannot yet fully explain, a small wonder left open to wonder at. Temperature sets the basic kind of snow crystal, but moisture is the quiet sculptor that decides how plain or how ornate that crystal will be as it grows. Where the air holds plenty of water vapor, a crystal grows quickly and elaborately, sprouting branches and fine detail, building the lacy stars we so admire. Where the air is drier with less vapor to feed it, the same kind of crystal grows slowly and simply, a plain plate or a plain column with little ornament at all. So 2 crystals born at the same temperature can look quite different, one a simple shape and one a rich branching star, parted only by how much moisture fed them. It is a gentle partnership then, the cold choosing the kind of crystal, and the moisture choosing how grand it grows, the two together shaping every flake that falls. A snow crystal does not grow in one fixed place, but drifts slowly downward through the cloud as it forms, passing through layers of different cold and different moisture along the way. As it falls, the conditions around it change, and the crystal grows differently in each layer it passes through, recording the journey in the changing pattern of its arms. This is why a single flake can hold several styles within it: a plain core from one layer, branching arms from another, a record of all the air it drifted through. The longer and more varied the fall, the more complex the crystal becomes, each new layer adding its own touch to the growing ice before the flake reaches the ground. So every intricate snowflake is a kind of frozen diary of its descent, each part of its shape written by a different stretch of the long, quiet journey down through the cloud. We come now to the most famous saying about snow, that no two snowflakes are alike, and it is worth telling this gently and truly, for the real story is even lovelier than the legend. The heart of it is the journey, for each crystal takes its own winding path down through the cloud, meeting its own particular sequence of cold and moisture moment by moment. Since the shape of a flake records that path, and since no two paths are ever exactly the same, the complex crystals that result are, in their fine detail, astronomically unlikely to match. A large branching snowflake holds so much intricate detail, shaped by so long a journey, that the chance of another forming exactly the same is vanishingly, beautifully small. So when we say no two are alike, we mean that each elaborate flake is a unique record of a unique descent, a one-of-a-kind crystal written by its own quiet fall through the sky. Yet honesty asks a gentle footnote to that famous saying, for the simplest snow crystals, the tiny plain plates and columns, really can look alike plain enough to be near twin. It is the large, complex, branching crystals that are essentially never identical. The smallest and simplest ones with little detail to differ can indeed closely match one another. A researcher once reported finding two snow crystals that looked very nearly the same, a careful and honest observation that the saying is about the complex, not the plainest of flakes. So the truth is softer and more exact than the legend, that no two elaborate snowflakes are alike, while the simplest ones may be twins, and both halves of this are worth knowing. It takes nothing from the wonder to tell it truly. The uniqueness of the great branching stars is real and astonishing, and the honesty only makes the marvel more trustworthy and dear. It is worth pausing to feel how much is packed into a single snowflake, for even a small one is built of an almost unimaginable number of water molecules, far beyond easy counting. A typical snow crystal may hold on the order of a quintillion molecules of water, a number so vast that to write it out is to write a 1 followed by 18 zeros. Each of those countless molecules has settled into its place in the six-sided lattice, locked into the ordered network of ice that gives the crystal its shape and symmetry. So the delicate flake that melts on your sleeve is a structure of staggering complexity, a tiny architecture of more parts than there are stars we could ever hope to count. It is a calming wonder to hold that something so small and so soft is built of so very many ordered pieces, each one settled quietly into its place within the ice. One of the gentlest things about snow is how slowly it falls, drifting down far more softly than rain, taking its time through the still cold air on its long way to the ground. A light, fluffy snow crystal, all branches and air, catches the air like a tiny parachute and floats down slowly, often at little more than a gentle walking drift. This is why snow seems to hang and wander as it falls, swaying and turning in no hurry at all while a raindrop plunges straight and fast toward the earth. The lacy, branching flakes fall slowest of all, for their open shapes hold the most air, while denser, simpler crystals settle a little more quickly through the cold. So the soft silence of snowfall is born of this slowness, each crystal drifting down unhurried and quiet, the whole sky filling with a gentle, weightless descent. Snowfall brings a deep and special quiet to the world, a hush that settles over everything, and there is a real reason behind that gentle silence we feel when snow comes down. Fresh fallen snow is full of tiny pockets of air, trapped among the countless loose crystals, and these small spaces soak up sound, softening and muffling the noises of the world. So a landscape under fresh snow grows still and muffled, the sharp edges of sound rounded away, footsteps and voices hushed beneath the soft absorbing blanket of crystals. The falling itself is silent too, for each flake is so light and so slow that it lands without a sound, the whole vast descent arriving without the faintest noise. So the quiet of a snowy night is a gift of the crystals themselves, their lightness and their countless air pockets together, wrapping the world in a soft and gentle hush. Rest here a while in an imagined stillness, a soft white field beneath a calm gray sky, the snow drifting down without sound, far from any care or task. You need not picture anything precisely, only feel the gentle quiet settling around you, the flakes drifting down, the world growing soft and still and deep. Let your breathing slow to match that stillness. There is nowhere you need to be, nothing you need to hold, only this soft white quiet to rest within. Here is a small puzzle worth resting on, for ice is clear and water is colorless, and yet a field of snow shines a soft and brilliant white, a color the ice itself does not possess. The secret is that snow is made not of one clear sheet of ice, but of countless tiny crystals, each with many faces, and light meets all of them at once as it falls upon the snow. At every little face the light bends and bounces, scattering this way and that until it is thrown back out in all directions, mixing every color of light together as it goes. When all the colors of light are scattered back together evenly, our eyes see that mixture as white, and so the snow glows white though each crystal within it is clear as glass. So the whiteness of snow is a trick of light and multitude, countless clear facets scattering every color back to us as one, a brilliance born not of the ice but of its endless tiny faces. If the surface of snow shines white, there is a quieter beauty deeper within it, for snow seen down inside a hollow or a drift can glow a soft and lovely blue. This faint blue comes from the way ice very slightly absorbs the warmer colors of light as that light travels through it, leaving the cooler blue to linger and shine. Near the surface, the light has not traveled far, and snow looks white, but deep within a thick drift, the light has passed through much ice, and the gentle blue begins to show. It is the same softly blue light that glows within the deep cracks of a glacier or the heart of a thick block of clear ice, the warm colors quietly drunk away. So snow holds two soft colors at once, the brilliant white of its scattered surface and the tender blue of its hidden depths, both born of the simple meeting of light and ice. On a clear, cold day, fresh snow does more than glow white. It sparkles, scattered here and there with tiny brilliant flashes of light, as if the field were strewn with small gems. Each flash is a single crystal face turned just so, catching the light and throwing it straight to your eye, a tiny mirror of ice winking for a moment as you move. As you walk, different faces line up with the light and your gaze, so the sparkles seem to shift and dance across the snow, flashing on and off as the angle changes. This glittering is a sign of fresh, sharp, faceted crystals, for as snow ages and its faces soften and round, the bright sparkle quietly fades from the surface. So the dazzle of new snow in cold light is the dazzle of countless tiny ice mirrors, each catching the sun for an instant, the whole field aglitter with fleeting points of light. The wonder at why snow has 6 corners is an old one, and one of the first to write of it carefully was a great astronomer in a small and charming essay written long ago. Just over 4 centuries past, in 1611, he set down a little book asking why snowflakes always seem to come with 6 corners, sensing a deep order behind the question. He could not answer it fully, for the science of molecules lay centuries ahead of him, yet he reasoned that the 6-fold shape must come from how the smallest parts of the ice packed together. It was a remarkable guess for his time, for he glimpsed, without the tools to prove it, the very truth we now know, that the visible 6-fold form springs from a hidden packing within. So the question of the 6 corners has a long and gentle history, asked with real insight 400 years ago by one who looked at a falling flake and wondered honestly why. Not long after that first essay, another great thinker turned his careful eye to snow, observing real crystals and drawing them as faithfully as he could by hand. In 1635, he set down sketches of snow crystals he had watched fall, capturing their 6-sided stars and plates with a care that was new for his age. His drawings were among the first honest records of what snow truly looks like up close, showing the regular 6-fold forms that the unaided eye can just begin to make out. To look closely and draw what is really there, rather than what one imagines, was a quiet act of science, and in snow he found a subject of endless delicate variety. So even before any lens could reveal a snowflake's full detail, careful observers were sketching its 6-fold beauty, laying the earliest groundwork for the science still to come. Centuries later, the true intricacy of snow was finally captured by a quiet farmer in a cold northern valley, a man who fell so in love with snowflakes that he gave his life to photographing them. Working in the 1880s, he joined a camera to a microscope, and after long, careful trial, became the first to photograph a single snow crystal in all its fine detail. He worked outdoors in the bitter cold, catching flakes on a dark board, lifting them with great care onto a slide and racing to capture them before they could melt away. Over the long years of his life, he made thousands upon thousands of these images, a vast gallery of snow crystals, each one different, each one captured with devotion. So we owe our first clear sight of the snowflake's true beauty to one devoted farmer in the cold, who looked at what fell from the sky and thought it worth a lifetime's loving study. In the early 1900s, a curious scientist took the study of snow a great step further, not only watching snow crystals but growing them himself in a cold laboratory. Working in the 1930s, he learned to grow snow crystals on a fine thread in a chamber of carefully controlled cold and moisture, the first ever made by human hands. By changing the temperature and the dampness around his growing crystals, he discovered which conditions produce which shapes, and so first traced the map of snow we spoke of before. It was painstaking work, coaxing single crystals to grow where he could watch them, and through it he turned the falling chaos of snow into something he could study and explain. So much of what we understand about why snow takes its many shapes began with this careful researcher growing his crystals one by one in the quiet cold of his laboratory. That same scientist left us a phrase so lovely it has lasted ever since, for he called the snow crystals that fall from the clouds letters sent to us from the sky. By this he meant that each crystal carries within its shape a message about the cloud where it formed, the cold and the moisture written into its arms for those who learn to read them. Knowing how shape follows from conditions, he could look at a fallen flake and read something of the sky it came from, the crystal a small written record of the air above. It is a gentle and poetic truth, this idea that snow is a kind of writing, each flake a quiet letter telling, in the language of ice, the story of its making. So when snow falls, you may think of it as the sky writing softly to the earth, sending down countless small letters of ice, each one shaped by the cloud that wrote it. Let us linger in a wide and tranquil white, far from any care, only the soft, endless fall of snow drifting down slow and silent through the calm, cold air. There is nothing to learn here, and nothing to do, only the gentle drift of the snow, each flake wandering down quiet and unhurried into the deepening white. Settle into that same soft stillness. Let it be a place with no demands, where you, like the drifting snow, may simply fall slowly and rest in the gentle quiet. Today we can look at snow crystals more closely than ever, with fine cameras and microscopes that reveal every branch and facet in detail, far beyond what the eye alone can see. Careful photographers work in the cold, catching single flakes and lighting them just so, drawing out the hidden geometry, the symmetry and the lace in slow loving images. Some chill their lenses and their slides, so the crystals will not melt and work quickly in the frozen air, racing the warmth to capture each flake while it is still whole. Through such images we have come to know the snowflake's beauty intimately, the endless variety of its forms, the fineness of its branching, the perfection of its six-fold symmetry. So the old wonder continues with new eyes, and the snow that fascinated thinkers centuries ago is studied still, its quiet beauty revealed more fully with each careful image we make. Snow is not the only way ice grows from vapor, for the same quiet chemistry makes frost, the delicate ice that forms not in the clouds, but right upon cold surfaces near the ground. Frost grows when water vapor in the air settles directly onto something cold enough freezing into ice upon it, just as snow freezes onto its nucleus high in the sky. So frost and snow are close kin, both born of vapor turning straight to ice, the one falling from clouds, the other growing in place on grass and glass and twig. Because it forms by the same deposition, frost shows the same love of fine branching and delicate pattern, feathering across a cold surface in shapes that echo the snowflake's own. So on a clear, cold night, while no snow may fall at all, the same gentle making of ice from vapor can quietly dress the world in frost by morning, grown softly where it stands. One of the loveliest forms of frost is the pattern that grows across a cold window on a frigid night, the feathery fronds we call frost ferns, spreading like a frozen garden on the glass. These ferns grow as vapor freezes onto the chilled pane, branching outward from tiny scratches or specks, each frond sprouting smaller fronds in delicate repeating fans. The patterns can be astonishingly intricate, whole forests of feathered ice spreading across the window overnight, traced in fine lines too lovely to seem accidental. Like snow, these ferns owe their branching to the way ice grows from vapor, the tips reaching out fastest and sprouting new branches in the same dendritic dance. So a cold window pane can become a canvas for ice, gathering by morning a delicate garden of frost ferns, grown silently overnight from the moisture in the air. On clear, cold nights, another kind of frost grows out in the open, coating twigs and grasses and leaves in feathery white crystals, a delicate ice we call hoar frost. Hoar frost forms when vapor freezes onto cold surfaces in still air, growing outward into spines and feathers and tiny six-sided plates, fringing each twig and blade in white. It can grow surprisingly long and delicate, building feathery crystals that stand out from a branch like fine white fur, glittering when the morning light first finds them. Each crystal of hoar frost shows the same fondness for six-fold form and branching detail as snow, for it is grown by the same quiet settling of vapor into ice. So a still cold night can leave the world transformed by morning, every twig and stem fringed in white feathers of hoar frost, a delicate ice grown softly in the dark. There is another kind of ice that dresses the cold world, and it forms differently from snow and frost, for rime is built not from vapor but from tiny droplets of supercooled fog. In a freezing fog, the air holds countless tiny water droplets that are colder than freezing yet still liquid, and when they touch a cold surface, they freeze onto it at once. As droplet after droplet strikes and freezes, rime builds up into rough white ice, often growing into the wind in soft, feathery spikes, coating branches and wires in pale fur. Rime lacks the clear, ordered facets of a snow crystal, for it is made of frozen droplets piled quickly together, not vapor laid down slowly into a lattice. So rime is the cold world's rougher dressing, grown from frozen fog rather than from vapor, a soft white frosting built droplet by droplet on whatever the freezing mist touches. Behind rime and much of snow lies a strange and gentle fact that water in the clouds can grow colder than its freezing point and yet remain a liquid waiting, supercooled. pure water with nothing to freeze upon can chill well below the usual freezing point and still stay liquid, the droplets hanging in the cold cloud in a delicate held breath. These supercooled droplets are poised on the edge, ready to freeze the moment they touch something solid, which is why they turn so quickly to rime on a cold branch or wing. Within the clouds, such supercooled droplets also feed the growth of snow crystals, giving up their water to the ice that grows among them as the crystals gather their substance. So much of winter's ice begins with this quiet paradox: water held liquid in the cold against its nature, waiting for the touch that will let it freeze at last. Sometimes snow falls not as delicate stars, but as small, soft white pellets, round and crumbly. And these have a name and a story of their own, for they are called graupel. Graupel forms when a snow crystal falls through a cloud full of supercooled droplets, and those droplets freeze onto it one after another, coating it in rough white rime. As more and more frozen droplets gather on the crystal, its delicate shape is buried and lost until it becomes a soft round pellet of rimmed ice rather than a star. So graupel is a snowflake that has been heavily rimed, its lacy form hidden under a crust of frozen droplets, falling as a soft white bead instead of a feathered crystal. It is gentler and softer than hail, crumbling easily, a quiet middle kind of winter fall, neither the lacy snowflake nor the hard stone of ice, but something soft between. On the very coldest, clearest days, a rare and lovely thing can happen, for tiny ice crystals form right in the open air near the ground and drift glittering in the cold. This is diamond dust, a ground-level cloud of minute ice crystals, so small and so sparse that the sky stays clear, yet the air itself glitters faintly as they catch the light. These tiny crystals form when the air near the ground grows cold and moist enough for vapor to freeze directly into ice, scattering the smallest of crystals through the still air. As light strikes their tiny faces, diamond dust sparkles and flashes, sometimes forming soft halos and pillars of light around the sun, a quiet magic of the deepest cold. So, on the most frigid mornings, the very air can fill with floating points of ice, a soft glittering haze of diamond dust drifting silently in the frozen calm. The ice crystals in high thin clouds and in diamond dust do more than fall and glitter. They can bend sunlight into soft rings and arcs of light high in the winter sky. When countless tiny six-sided ice crystals float in the air, sunlight passing through them is bent by their facets, gathering into a luminous ring around the sun or moon. These halos owe their shape to the six-sided geometry of ice, the angle of the crystal faces bending the light by just so much, drawing a faint ring at a fixed soft distance. Sometimes bright spots appear to either side of the sun, or arcs and pillars of pale light, all of them painted by ice crystals turning sunlight in the cold high air. So the same six-fold ice that makes the snowflake also writes rings of light across the sky, the geometry of frozen water shaping not just the flake, but the very glow around the. Scientists who study snow have given gentle names to its many forms, sorting the endless variety of crystals into families by their shapes, the better to understand them. There are plates and stellar crystals, columns and needles, capped columns where a column wears plates at its ends, and the grand dendrites with their branching arms. There are also irregular crystals and rimmed ones and clusters where many crystals lock together, for not every flake is a perfect star and the imperfect ones are many. Naming these families helps make sense of the variety, showing the order beneath the seeming chaos, the way each kind of crystal belongs to a particular range of cold and damp. So the snowflake is not one thing, but a great family of forms, each with its name and its place, all grown from the same six-fold ice in the many moods of the winter cloud. Among the loveliest of snow forms is the capped column, a single crystal that wears two different shapes at once, a column in its middle and a flat plate at each of its ends. Such a crystal forms when a growing column drifts from one band of cold into another, so that it begins as a column and then sprouts plates when the conditions change. The result is like a tiny spool or bobbin of ice, a six-sided column with a six-sided plate capping each end, two snow forms grown together in a single crystal. The capped column is a clear sign of a crystal's journey through changing air, its two shapes recording the two different conditions it met as it slowly fell and grew. So even a single small crystal can hold a story of travel, beginning as one form and ending as another. The capped column, a quiet record of a flake that passed between two colds. To understand why snow crystals branch into such lovely lace, it helps to know that the growing tips of a crystal tend to grow faster than its flat faces, reaching eagerly outward. A sharp point or corner sticks out into fresh, vapor-rich air, gathering more water than the flat sides, and so it grows faster still, sharpening and reaching ever further out. This is why the corners of a crystal lead the way. The six corners of a plate sprouting into six arms, the arms reaching out fastest of all into the surrounding air. And as each arm grows, small bumps along it become new corners which sprout new branches which sprout their own, the pattern repeating into ever finer lace. So the branching beauty of a snowflake comes from this simple tendency of points to grow fastest, the corners leading, the branches following, building the lace arm by arm. The branching of a snowflake follows a pattern that repeats at smaller and smaller scales, the same shape echoing from the great arms down to the tiniest sprigs at their edges. Each arm carries side branches, and those side branches carry smaller branches of their own, and so on, the same feathery form, repeating finer and finer along the whole crystal. This repeating of a shape within itself, the great echoed in the small, is what gives a snowflake its rich and endless seeming detail, layer within layer of branching ice. It is a kind of natural self-similarity, the same simple growth rule playing out again at every scale, building complexity from repetition in a way the eye finds deeply pleasing. So the intricate lace of a snowflake is not chaos but pattern, the same branching repeated down through the scales, order folded within order in the quiet growth of ice. It is a gentle surprise to learn how quickly a snowflake is made, for all its intricate beauty grows in only a matter of minutes as the crystal drifts down through the cloud. In the space of perhaps half an hour or less, sometimes much less, a tiny seed of ice grows into a full elaborate crystal, branching arm by branch in the cold, moist air. So the long descent through the cloud, though it lasts only minutes, is time enough for all that delicate lace to form, the crystal building swiftly as it falls. It is a quick and quiet making, then, the whole architecture of a snowflake assembled in a few drifting minutes between the cloud and the waiting ground below. So each flake that lands is the work of mere minutes, a swift, small masterpiece of ice grown on the way down, finished just in time to settle softly to earth. Snowflakes come in many sizes, from tiny crystals smaller than a grain of salt to the larger feathered stars that span perhaps a finger's width across when conditions are right. Most single crystals are small, only a few millimeters at most, the grand visible stars being among the larger of them, still delicate and light upon the hand. Sometimes many crystals stick together as they fall, clumping into the big soft flakes we see in a gentle snowfall, clusters that can grow surprisingly broad and fluffy. There are old tales of enormous snowflakes, hands' breadths wide, but these are best treated as unconfirmed legends, for the truly giant flake belongs more to story than to careful record. So the snow that falls ranges from the tiniest crystal to the largest soft cluster, and while the legends speak of giants, the real wonder lies in the delicate, ordinary flake. Pause now and imagine yourself held in a gentle winter calm, surrounded by the soft hush of falling snow, the world settling deep and white and still around you. There is nothing to fear in that soft white quiet, only comfort, only the gentle fall of the snow and the deep calm of a world hushed beneath it as the night comes down. Let the quiet wrap around you. It asks nothing of you. Breathe slowly in that soft white hush, and let its gentle calm hold you, easy and still and safe. The big soft flakes that drift down in a calm snowfall are often not single crystals at all, but clusters, many crystals tangled and stuck together on their way down. As crystals fall, they brush against one another, and in slightly milder air their surfaces grow just sticky enough to cling, gathering into larger and fluffier clumps. These clusters can hold dozens or even hundreds of crystals, locked loosely together, falling as the big lazy flakes that settle so softly on a still winter day. So the largest flakes of a gentle snowfall are gatherings rather than single crystals, communities of ice drifting down together, light and broad and soft. It is why snow can fall in great soft flakes one day and fine dry crystals another, the difference lying in whether the crystals cluster or come down each on its own. Snow can fall dry and powdery or wet and heavy, and the difference comes from the temperature of the air through which the crystals fall on their way to the ground. In very cold air, the crystals stay separate and dry, falling as fine powder that will not easily pack together, light and loose and soft underfoot. In milder air near freezing, the crystals grow a little sticky and clump into large wet flakes, heavy with moisture, the kind that pack readily and cling to every branch. So the same sky can send down quite different snow on different days, dry powder in the deep cold and heavy wet flakes when the air is only just cold enough to freeze. It is a small thing to know on a winter night that the feel of the snow tells you something of the air it fell through, dry from the deep cold, wet from the gentle. It seems a strange thing to say, yet a blanket of snow can help keep the ground beneath it warm, sheltering the soil and the small lives within it from the bitter air above. Fresh snow is full of trapped air, and that air makes it a fine insulator, slowing the escape of warmth from the earth and holding the deep cold of the sky at bay. So under a thick layer of snow, the ground stays far milder than the freezing air above, a gentle shelter for roots and seeds and the small creatures that wait out the winter there. Many plants and animals depend on this snowy blanket, sheltering beneath it through the hardest cold, kept from the worst of the freeze by the very snow that covers them. So the snow that looks so cold is also a quiet keeper of warmth, a soft insulating cover that shelters the sleeping life of winter beneath its gentle weight. Beneath a deep snow cover lies a hidden, sheltered world, a quiet space near the ground where the air stays milder and small creatures move and live through the long winter. In the gap between the snow and the soil, warmed faintly by the earth below, small animals find a refuge from the killing cold, tunneling and nesting out of the wind. This sheltered layer is a haven of relative warmth and calm, hidden from the harsh world above, where the snow that covers it also protects all that lives beneath. So the still white field hides a soft secret beneath its surface, a sheltered hollow world where winter is gentler than it seems, all thanks to the insulating snow. It is a comforting thought as you drift, that even in the deep of winter beneath the cold white blanket, there are small quiet lives kept safe and mild by the snow above. Once snow has fallen and settled, it does not stay the same, for the crystals slowly change over days and weeks, softening and shifting in a quiet, ongoing transformation. The delicate arms and points of fresh crystals are fragile, and over time they soften and round, the sharp lace dulling as the snow settles and ages on the ground. The crystals also begin to join to one another at their points of contact, bonding together so the loose fresh snow gradually grows firmer and more settled with time. So a field of snow is always quietly changing, the fresh sparkle of new crystals giving way to the rounded grains of older settled snow, soft and dense and still. It is a slow and silent reshaping, the snow remaking itself on the ground long after it has fallen, the crystals letting go of their first delicate forms. There is a quiet process by which fallen snow knits itself together, called sintering, in which the crystals slowly fuse at the places where they touch, binding the snow into a firmer mass. Where two crystals meet, ice gathers gently at the contact, forming a small neck that joins them, and over time these countless little joinings bind the loose snow into a solid pack. This is why fresh powder, soft and loose at first, grows firmer over the following days, the crystals knitting together into a settled snow that holds its shape. It is the same gentle joining that lets snow be packed into a firm ball, the pressure and warmth of the hand speeding the crystals to bond more closely together. So snow is not a still and changeless thing once fallen, but a slowly knitting fabric of ice, the separate crystals quietly fusing into one another as the days go by. Given enough time and enough snow, the quiet settling and joining of crystals can go all the way to solid ice, the slow path by which fallen snow becomes a glacier. As layer upon layer of snow gathers and presses down on what lies beneath, the crystals are squeezed ever closer, the air driven out, the snow compacted year by year. Over long stretches of time, this pressing turns soft snow first into a denser granular form, and at last into dense solid ice, the memory of separate flakes long gone. So a glacier is, in the end, snow transformed, countless winters of crystals pressed together into a slow river of ice, each layer a buried season of long ago snowfall. It is a vast, slow wonder to rest upon that the soft flake melting on your hand is kin to the deep ice of glaciers, the same frozen water across an immense reach of time. Deep within old layers of snow turned to ice, there is a quiet treasure held safe, for tiny bubbles of air are trapped within, keeping a sample of the sky from long ago. As snow falls and packs and turns to ice, it seals small pockets of the air it fell through, and that ancient air stays locked within the ice for as long as the ice endures. So the deep ice of glaciers and ice sheets holds, in its trapped bubbles, breaths of air from winters long past, a faithful keeping of the sky as it once was. By studying these tiny bubbles, scientists can learn about the air of ages gone, the old snow having quietly archived the very atmosphere it fell through. So snow is a keeper of time in more ways than one, not only making the ice of glaciers but sealing within it the ancient air, held gently in the dark for thousands of years. Let us return to the very birth of a snowflake and rest a while on that tiny speck at its heart, for without it, the water vapor in a cloud would struggle to freeze it all. Pure water vapor with nothing to gather on can stay unfrozen even when it is cold enough to freeze, much as supercooled droplets stay liquid below their freezing point. It is the tiny particle, the mote of dust or pollen, that gives the vapor a surface to settle on, a seed around which the first ice can finally form and grow. So these small specks are quietly essential, the unsung beginnings of snow, each one the hidden core that lets a flake exist at all in the cold of the cloud. It is a humble and lovely fact that the soft white snow owes its very being to specks of dust adrift in the sky, the earth and the air joined in every falling flake. The tiny particles that seed snowflakes come from many quiet sources, lifted into the sky from the surface of the world to drift among the clouds and gather ice around them. Some are specks of mineral dust raised by the wind, some are grains of pollen from distant plants, some are tiny fragments of soil carried far on the moving air. Remarkably, some of the particles that seed ice are even bits of living matter, tiny pieces from plants and other organisms that prove especially good at starting a crystal. So the snow that falls is seeded by the whole wide world below, by dust and pollen and the smallest fragments of life, all lifted up to become the hearts of flakes. It is a gentle circle to consider the earth rising into the sky as dust and returning as snow, each flake a small reunion of the ground and the air far above. Snow is born high in the clouds. in the cold upper air where the temperature falls far below freezing, for it is only there that vapor will freeze into ice and crystals can grow. Even snow that reaches a mild valley below was often made high above, where the air is bitterly cold, and only fell into the warmer air on its long way down to us. So a snowfall on a day near freezing at the ground may have begun far overhead in deep cold, the crystals forming in the frigid heights and surviving the descent. Whether snow reaches the ground or melts to rain along the way depends on the warmth of the air it falls through, the cold cloud making it, the lower air deciding its fate. So every flake has come a long, cold way, born in the freezing heights and drifting down through layer after layer of air to land at last upon the quiet ground. Not all snow that forms reaches the ground as snow, for if the air below the cloud is warm enough, the falling crystals melt along the way and arrive instead as rain. A crystal born in the cold heights may fall into milder air and slowly soften and melt, its delicate form dissolving into a simple drop before it ever lands. This is why the same cloud can give snow to a cold hilltop and rain to a warmer valley below, the difference lying only in the warmth of the air the flakes fall through. Sometimes snow half melts and refreezes, arriving as sleet or as a wet mix, the crystals caught between snow and rain by the changing warmth of their descent. So whether the sky gives snow or rain is a close and gentle thing, decided in the last layers of air, the very same crystals landing soft and white or melting into drops. As the winter day fades, snow takes on the soft colors of the failing light, glowing faintly pink and gold at sunset and turning a deep tender blue as evening comes on. Because snow scatters back whatever light falls upon it, it wears the color of the sky, blushing with the warm hues of a low sun and cooling to blue in the dusk. So a snowy field at the close of day can glow with the gentlest of colors. The warm light of the sinking sun spreads softly across the white, fading slowly toward blue. This is the lovely blue hour of winter, when the snow holds the last soft light, glowing faintly luminous in the deepening dusk before the dark comes fully down. So the white of snow is never quite only white, but a quiet mirror of the sky's own changing light, warm at sunset, blue at dusk, soft and shifting through the hours. By night, a field of snow takes on a special quiet beauty, glowing softly under the moon, the pale light spread and brightened by the countless crystals of the white expanse. Snow reflects the moonlight back so well that a snowy night can be remarkably bright, the whole landscape glowing faintly silver beneath even a modest moon. So a winter night after fresh snow has a luminous calm all its own, the ground glowing pale and soft, the darkness gentled by the light the snow gives back to the sky. It is a peaceful brightness, this glow of moonlit snow, the field shining quietly in the dark, every crystal lending its tiny share to the soft silver of the night. So picture, as you settle, a still field of snow beneath a winter moon, glowing softly silver in the dark, calm and luminous and deeply at peace. Many people feel they can smell snow before it falls, sensing a particular freshness in the air, a clean cold scent that seems to announce the coming of a snowfall. Part of this is the cold itself, for very cold air carries fewer of the everyday smells of the world, leaving the air feeling clean and sharp and almost scentless. The dampness that often comes before snow can also lift and freshen the air, and the stillness before a snowfall lets that clean cold quality settle around us. So the smell of coming snow is less a smell than a feeling of the air, a clean, crisp emptiness, the world holding its breath in the cold before the flakes begin. It is a gentle sense worth trusting on a winter evening, that hush and freshness in the air that so often comes just before the first soft crystals start to fall. There is often a deep stillness in the hour before snow, a calm that settles over the world, the air growing quiet, and the sky drawing low and soft and gray. In that hush, the wind tends to fall, the birds grow quiet, and a kind of waiting settles over everything, the world stilled in the moments before the first flakes come. This calm comes with the gentle weather that often brings snow, the soft gray clouds and quiet air arriving together, the stillness a herald of the coming fall. So the snow announces itself not with noise but with quiet, a deepening calm, a softening of the light, a sense that the world is settling toward rest. It is a fitting stillness to rest within tonight, that gentle hush before the snow, the quiet gathering of the sky before it lets its soft white crystals fall. Wander for a moment among soft drifting flakes in a calm white field, each one falling slow and gentle, the whole quiet air alive with their slow descent. Picture them lightly, those small soft flakes drifting down without hurry through the still cold air, calm and peaceful, gathering soft and deep below. And then let them fade. Return gently to your own quiet room, your own soft rest, the calm of the falling snow lingering with you like the peace of a still winter night. When snow settles on the branches of winter trees, it dresses the bare limbs in soft white, outlining every twig and bough in a delicate lining of gathered crystals. The snow clings most to the upper sides of the branches, tracing their shapes in white, turning a plain dark tree into a soft sketch of itself against the gray. On still days, the snow can pile surprisingly high upon a branch, balanced in soft ridges along each limb, holding until a breath of wind sends it sifting gently down. So a snowy wood becomes a quiet wonder, every tree lined and softened in white, the whole forest hushed and transformed by the gentle settling of the snow. It is a peaceful image to hold as you drift, a still winter wood dressed softly in snow, every branch lined in white beneath the calm gray sky. The evergreens wear snow differently from the bare trees, gathering it in soft white loads upon their dark green needles, the snow held among the boughs in gentle drifts. A snow-laden pine or spruce bends softly under its white burden, the dark needles cradling the snow, the whole tree drooping into a quiet bowed shape beneath the weight. The contrast of the dark green and the soft white is one of winter's loveliest sights, the deep color of the needles glowing against the pale snow they hold. Now and then a bough lets go its load, the snow sliding off in a soft white fall, and the freed branch springs gently back, shedding a fine glittering dust into the air. So picture a still grove of snow-laden evergreens, dark and green beneath their soft white loads, bowed quietly in the hush of a winter that has dressed them all in snow. The wind is a quiet sculptor of fallen snow, carving the smooth white surface into ripples and ridges and graceful curving drifts wherever it blows across the open ground. As the wind moves loose snow, it piles it into long, smooth drifts behind anything that breaks the flow, sculpting soft slopes and overhanging curls of white. It also carves the surface into fine ripples and waves. Much as it shapes sand, the snow rearranged grain by grain into a landscape of gentle wind-drawn forms. So a windswept field of snow is never flat, but softly sculpted, ridged and rippled and drifted, the record of the wind written across the white in curves and waves. It is a quiet artistry, this shaping of snow by wind, the open white carved into soft flowing forms, a sculpture made and remade by the moving cold air. In the deepest cold, snow can fall as the lightest of powders, so dry and fluffy that it seems to weigh almost nothing, drifting up at the slightest disturbance like dust. This powder is made of fine, separate crystals that will not stick together, full of air so loose that it pours and lifts and floats rather than packing into clumps. It is the snow most prized on cold mountains, soft and deep and weightless, parting like a cloud, holding so much air that it feels almost like nothing at all. Powder forms in very cold, dry air, where the crystals stay sharp and separate and never grow sticky enough to clump, falling and lying as the lightest of snows. So the lightest snow of all is the gift of the deepest cold, a fine dry powder of separate crystals, soft and weightless and full of trapped quiet air. When the air is only just cold enough to freeze, snow falls heavy and wet, the large clumped flakes thick with moisture, clinging and packing and weighing down all they touch. This wet snow sticks readily to branches and wires, building up in heavy loads, the kind of snow that bows the trees and clings in thick, soft layers to every surface. It packs easily into firm balls and dense banks, for its moisture lets the crystals bond at once, the opposite of the dry powder that will not hold together at all. So the same word snow covers both the weightless powder of the deep cold and the heavy wet flakes of the mild day, two quite different gifts of the winter sky. It is the warmth of the falling air that parts them, the deep cold making powder, the gentle cold making the heavy wet snow that clings and packs and bends the boughs. People have long wished to measure snow, to know how deep it lies, and the simplest way is just to set a ruler into it, reading the depth of the soft white layer. Yet snow is tricky to measure, for it settles and drifts, deep in one place and thin in another, so that a single reading rarely tells the whole of a snowfall's depth. There is also the question of how much water the snow holds, for light powder and heavy wet snow of the same depth carry very different amounts of frozen water within. So to truly know a snowfall, one measures both its depth and the water it would make if melted, the two together telling how much has really fallen from the sky. It is a gentle science, This careful watching of snow, the steady setting of rulers and the melting of samples, all to understand the soft white gift the winter brings. A field of snow is a great quiet store of water, holding within its crystals all the moisture that fell from the sky, waiting to be released when the warmth returns in spring. Light, dry snow holds little water for its depth, while heavy, wet snow holds a great deal, the same blanket of white carrying very different amounts of frozen moisture within. When the snow melts, that stored water flows into the soil and the streams, feeding the land, the winter's snowfall released slowly as the gentle waters of spring. So the snow that covers the winter ground is also a promise kept for the warmer days, a frozen reservoir released bit by bit as the cold loosens its hold. It is a quiet cycle to rest upon, the sky giving water as snow in the cold, and the snow giving it back as meltwater in the thaw, the same water moving softly through the season. In many lands, the snow of winter is the water of spring, the melt from the mountains and the fields filling the rivers and soaking the soil as the warm season returns. Through the cold months the snow gathers and waits, a deep white store held high in the hills, and when the warmth comes it melts and flows down to feed the waking land. So the snow that falls so softly in the dark of winter is quietly gathering the water that will green the world come spring, a slow gift held in frozen keeping. The slow release of the snow melt is a gentle blessing, feeding the stream steadily through the spring rather than all at once, the winter's snow doled out with care. So even as it lies still and cold upon the ground, the snow is at work for the seasons to come, holding the spring's own water safe in its quiet crystals. Snow falls across a great part of the world, not only in the far cold lands but on high mountains everywhere, even in the warmest regions where the peaks rise into the cold. Wherever the air grows cold enough, whether near the poles or high above a tropical valley, the same six-fold crystals can form and fall, snow being a citizen of the whole cold sky. So even in lands that never feel a frost below, the high mountains may wear snow upon their peaks, the cold of altitude making winter where the lowlands never know it. The same physics of vapor and cold and the six-sided lattice make snow the world over, the crystals on a far northern field the kin of those upon a distant tropical summit. So snow is a wide and gentle wonder, falling across mountains and plains and poles alike, the same quiet ice forming wherever the air rises into the reach of the cold. Some places on the earth receive astonishing amounts of snow, where cold air and abundant moisture meet, burying the land season after season beneath enormous depths. Certain mountain ranges where moist air is lifted high and chilled gather snow in great quantity, the winters there laying down depths that can dwarf a person many times over. Near some coasts and lakes, cold air sweeping over open water picks up moisture and drops it as heavy snow inland, gifting those lands with deep and frequent falls. So the snowiest places are where the cold and the moisture come richly together, the mountains and the snowy coasts that gather the winter's white in such great abundance. It is a quiet marvel that the same soft flake we watch fall one at a time can gather in such places into depths that bury the whole land in white for half the year. At the far poles of the earth lie vast realms of snow and ice, where the cold is so deep and so lasting that the snow of ages has built into immense sheets of ancient ice. In these cold lands, the snow that falls seldom melts, but gathers year upon year, pressing slowly into ice, building the great frozen expanses that crown the ends of the world. Curiously, much of the polar interior is so cold and dry that little new snow falls there, the air too cold to hold much moisture, the deep cold, a kind of frozen desert. Yet over the long ages even that sparse snowfall, never melting, has piled into ice sheets of staggering depth, the slow gift of countless quiet winters. So the poles are the great keepers of snow turned to ice, vast still realms of white, where the winters of long ago lie pressed and frozen far down beneath the surface. There is a special quiet wonder in the first snow of the year, the first soft fall after the long warm seasons when the world is dressed in white once more after its absence. The first flakes drifting down stir something gentle in us, a remembrance of every winter past, the familiar soft descent returning after the green and gold of the warmer months. That first snow transforms the world overnight, the bare gray land waking to a soft white morning, the season turned in a single quiet fall of crystals. It is a threshold, the first snow, the soft opening of winter, the sky beginning again its long, slow gift of ice after the months when no flake fell at all. So there is a quiet joy in that first fall, the return of the snow, the world made new and white again beneath the gentle and familiar descent of the year's first crystals. To truly know snow, people have spent long, cold hours simply watching it, catching flakes and studying their shapes, a quiet and steady devotion to a thing so small and so fleeting. It takes care and cold-numbed fingers to catch a single crystal whole, to lift it gently and look before it melts, racing the warmth to glimpse its fragile beauty. Those who study snow learn to read its forms, to know a plate from a column, a simple crystal from a journey-marked one, the whole grammar of ice written in falling flakes. It is humble and loving work, this watching of snow, undertaken in the cold for the joy of understanding, the loving attention that turns a passing flake into knowledge. So our understanding of snow rests on long hours of quiet watching, of looking closely at what falls and asking gently why in the cold where the crystals can be met. There is a simple pleasure in catching a single snowflake and looking at it closely, holding still a flake on a dark sleeve or a cold glove to see its delicate form. On a dark surface, against which the white crystal stands out, you can sometimes make out the six-fold shape with your own eyes, the arms and the branching faintly clear. The trick is to keep the flake cold, to breathe away from it and look quickly, for the warmth of a hand or a breath will melt the fragile crystal in a moment. To see, even dimly, the six arms of a real snowflake caught on your own glove is to touch the wonder directly, the science made plain in a single fleeting crystal. So on the next snowfall you might catch a flake on something dark and cold and look, and find for yourself the quiet six-fold beauty we have spoken of all this while. Under a microscope, A snow crystal reveals a beauty far beyond what the eye alone can catch, the fine branching and delicate symmetry sharpening into astonishing clarity. What looks like a simple white speck on the sleeve becomes, under the lens, an intricate palace of ice, every arm feathered with branches, every branch with branches of its own. The six-fold symmetry stands out with perfect clarity, the matching arms revealing how faithfully each one echoes the others, a precision hard to believe is the work of mere weather. Through the lens, too, one sees the translucence of the ice, the way light passes through and glows within the crystal, lending it a soft inner shine. So the microscope opens a hidden world in every flake, the full delicate architecture of the snow crystal laid bare, more lovely the closer one is able to look. Beneath all its lacy variety, every snow crystal holds the same quiet geometry, the same six-fold order springing from the hexagonal lattice of the ice within. However elaborate or however plain, however branched or simple, the angles of a snow crystal trace back to that hidden six-sided packing of the water molecules. The 60 degrees between the arms, the six-sided plates, the hexagonal columns all are the visible face of the same molecular order, the lattice shaping the whole. So the endless variety of snow rests on a single deep constancy, the six-fold geometry that every crystal obeys, the one unchanging rule beneath the infinite difference. It is a satisfying thought to rest upon this order beneath the variety, the snowflake forever new in its detail yet forever sixfold in its hidden bones. It is a curious question why a snow crystal sometimes grows flat and wide as a plate and sometimes tall and narrow as a column, both from the same six-sided ice. The answer lies in which faces of the crystal grow fastest. For if the side faces gather ice quickly, the crystal spreads into a plate, and if the ends grow fast, it rises into a column. And which faces grow fastest depends closely on the temperature, the cold shifting the balance so that the same ice builds outward in one band of cold and upward in another. So the flatness or tallness of a flake is set by this quiet competition between its faces, a balance tipped one way or another by the precise cold in which it grows. It is a delicate dependence. This, the whole shape of a crystal swinging between plate and column at the gentle command of the temperature in the cloud. For all that we have learned about snow, there are mysteries within it still, gentle puzzles that careful scientists are working even now to understand more fully. Just why the shapes shift back and forth as the cold deepens, plates to columns to stars and back to columns, is not yet fully explained, a quiet, open question of snow. The fine details of how a single crystal chooses its exact pattern, branch by branch, are intricate beyond easy capture, studied through careful growing and watching. It is an honest and lovely thing that something so common should still hold mysteries, that the snowflake so familiar has not given up all its secrets even now. So the science of snow is a living one, still asking and still learning, the humble flake keeping a few quiet wonders back for the curious minds that study it. Scientists today still grow snow crystals in the laboratory, much as the early researcher did, the better to watch how shape follows from cold and moisture under careful control. In a chilled chamber with the temperature and dampness set just so, a crystal can be grown where it can be watched closely, its arms branching slowly before the eye. By growing crystals at chosen conditions, researchers can test how each shape arises, confirming the old map of snow and probing the puzzles it still holds. Some have even grown remarkable matched pairs of crystals side by side in the very same conditions, watching them branch nearly alike, a gentle proof of how the path shapes the flake. So the making of snow continues under careful eyes. The crystals coax to grow where they can be studied, the laboratory a quiet window onto the secrets of the sky. There is a gentle story worth telling about the saying that no two snowflakes match, for a careful scientist once found two crystals that looked very nearly the same. Among countless crystals gathered from the sky, she came upon a pair of simple ones, so alike that they seemed near twins, a quiet and honest exception to the famous rule. This did not overturn the wonder of snow, but refined it, reminding us that it is the complex crystals, not the simplest, that are essentially never identical. So the truth holds with a gentle qualification. The great branching stars are each unique, while the plainest little crystals can indeed, now and then, be found to match. It is a lovely thing that science holds even its favorite sayings up to honest light, finding the deeper truth that uniqueness belongs above all to the elaborate flake. Return for a moment to the endless variety of snow, for every snowfall is unlike every other, each storm laying down its own particular mix of crystal shapes. Because shape follows from the exact cold and moisture, and because these vary from storm to storm and layer to layer, each snowfall has its own character of crystals. One storm may bring fine dry needles, another great soft branching stars, another a quiet fall of simple plates, the sky writing a different kind of snow each time. So no two snowfalls are alike any more than two flakes are, each a unique expression of the cold and moist conditions that made it, never quite repeated. It is a wonder upon a wonder, the unique flake within the unique storm, the variety of snow reaching from the single crystal all the way up to the whole season's fall. Snow brings with it a deep stillness, a quieting of the whole world, and there is something in that hush that speaks straight to the longing for rest and calm. Under fresh snow, the world slows and softens, the sharp edges rounded, the noise muffled, the light gentled, the whole landscape settling into a deep white quiet. This stillness is part of why snow soothes us so, why a snowy scene calls up calm, for the snow truly does quiet the world, wrapping it in a soft, absorbing hush. So the peace we feel in falling snow is no mere fancy, but a real gentling of the world. The crystals softening sound and light and motion into a deep winter calm. It is fitting then to rest within the thought of snow tonight, for the snow itself is a kind of rest made visible, the world grown quiet and soft, and still beneath the white. Watching snow fall is one of winter's deepest comforts, the slow, steady descent of countless flakes drifting down without sound, a motion endlessly calming to behold. There is a rhythm to it, the soft, endless falling, each flake wandering down in its own slow way, the whole sky filled with a gentle, weightless drift toward the ground. The eye follows one flake and then another, never hurried, the slow descent easing the mind, the falling snow a kind of moving stillness that quiets the watching thoughts. It is a sight that draws the breath slow and the shoulders down, the soft fall of snow asking nothing, offering only its quiet, endless drift to rest the eye upon. So picture, as you settle, the slow fall of snow outside a dark window, the flakes drifting down without end, soft and silent, easing you toward sleep. Imagine as you drift a still and gentle scene of snow within you, a soft white field beneath a calm gray sky, the flakes drifting down without sound or end. There is nothing to do in that scene, only to watch the snow fall, the crystals wandering down slow and quiet, settling softly over the white and sleeping land. Let the snow fall there as long as you like, in no hurry, each flake drifting down in its own slow time, the whole quiet world dressed deeper in soft white. It is a calm place to rest the mind, this inner field of falling snow, asking nothing, offering only its endless gentle descent and its deep white peace. So hold that soft scene lightly as you settle, the snow falling within you slow and silent, the world gone calm and white, easing you toward the edge of sleep. On a clear, cold night, even when no snow falls, the morning may come dressed in frost, every blade and twig and pane edged in delicate white grown silently in the dark. This frost forms while we sleep, the vapor freezing onto the cold ground and grass and glass, building its feathery crystals through the still hours of the night. So we wake to find the world quietly transformed, the dull, dark surfaces of evening turned to glittering white by morning, dressed by an ice that grew while we rested. There is a small magic in that, the frost arriving unseen in the night, a gift of the cold left waiting for the morning eye, delicate and brief and lovely. So the cold can write upon the world even without a single falling flake, frost growing softly in the dark, greeting the morning with its quiet feathered white. Frost forms best on clear cold nights, and there is a gentle reason why, for on a clear night the ground loses its warmth freely to the open sky and cools below freezing. Under clouds the ground stays warmer, the clouds holding in its heat, but under a clear sky the warmth escapes upward unhindered, and surfaces chill quickly in the dark. Once a surface cools below freezing, the vapor in the air can freeze onto it, and the frost begins to grow, feathering across the chilled grass and twigs and glass. Still air helps too, letting the cold settle and the frost grow undisturbed, which is why the calmest, clearest, coldest nights bring the heaviest and loveliest frost. So the frost of morning is the quiet fruit of a clear, still night, the ground giving its warmth to the open sky, and the vapor freezing onto the cold it leaves behind. Frost and snow are close kin, both grown from vapor turning straight to ice, yet they differ in a simple way, for snow forms aloft and falls, while frost forms in place and stays. Snow is born high in the clouds and drifts down to the ground, a traveler from the sky, while frost grows right where we find it, on the cold surfaces of the waking world. Both show the love of sixfold form and delicate branching, for both are ice grown from vapor, yet one comes down from above and the other rises softly in place. So when you find a twig fringed in white on a frostless seeming morning, you can know it as frost grown there in the night, kin to snow but never having fallen. It is a gentle pair then, the falling snow and the standing frost, two faces of the same quiet ice, one a gift from the sky and one grown softly upon the earth. The animals of winter live close among the snow, and many have found quiet ways to use it, sheltering beneath it, traveling over it, or hiding within its white expanse. Some small creatures tunnel beneath the snow, living in the sheltered milder world near the ground, kept from the cruel cold above by the very blanket that covers them. Others wear white through the winter, their coats turn the color of snow so that they move across the white land unseen, hidden by their match to the season. And some travel lightly over the surface on broad feet that keep them from sinking, crossing the deep soft snow that would swallow a heavier step. So the snow is not only a still white scene, but a world the winter animals inhabit, sheltering in it, hiding in it, and crossing it in their own quiet ways. It is a quiet marvel that some animals turn white for the winter, their coats shifting with the season to match the coming snow, the better to move unseen across the white. As the days shorten and the cold deepens, these creatures grow a new pale coat, trading the browns of the warm seasons for a white that blends with the snowy land. And when the snow melts and the spring returns, they change back again, the white giving way to summer colors, the coat following the seasons in a slow, steady turning. This matching to the snow is a gentle protection, letting the creature hide in plain sight upon the white, sheltered by its likeness to the season all around it. So the snow shapes even the colors of the creatures that live among it, drawing them into white through the cold months, a quiet harmony of animal and season. Snow can be both a barrier and a help to the creatures of winter, deep and difficult to cross for some, yet a sheltering cover and a smooth road for others. Some animals have broad feet or light steps that spread their weight, letting them walk over the soft snow that would swallow a heavier creature, crossing it with ease. Others find in the snow a place to hide, burrowing into a drift for warmth and shelter, or vanishing against the white with their pale winter coats. And the smooth surface of settled snow can make travel easier in its way, a level white road across a land whose every other path lies buried beneath it. So the snow shapes the lives of winter's creatures in countless quiet ways, a thing to cross, to hide in, to shelter beneath, woven deep into the rhythm of the cold season. Snow has filled the stories and songs of peoples wherever it falls, a wonder and a hardship, a beauty and a power, woven deep into the way we speak of winter. Across many lands and ages, people have found words for the soft fall of snow, for its silence and its beauty, for the way it transforms and quiets the familiar world. Some peoples who live closest to the snow have many fine words for its different kinds, the powder and the crust and the drift, a rich language grown from long acquaintance. So snow lives not only in the sky and on the ground, but in the human heart and tongue, in the stories and the songs that try to hold its quiet wonder in words. It is fitting that so lovely a thing should fill so much of what we say and sing of winter, the snow drifting through our stories as softly as it drifts through the cold air. For as long as people have watched snow fall, they have wondered at it, drawn to look closely, to ask why it takes its shapes, to find in it a beauty worth the looking. From the early thinkers who puzzled over its six corners to the farmers and scientists who photographed and grew it, snow has called forth a long and devoted human wonder. There is something in the snowflake that invites this attention, its smallness and its order, its fleeting perfection, the sense that something so common should be so finely made. So the study of snow is a story of devotion, of people across the centuries kneeling in the cold to look closely at what falls, finding in it a wonder worth a lifetime. It is a gentle inheritance, this long wonder at snow, passed down through all who have looked closely and asked why, and tonight we take our own quiet place in it. There is a sense in which a snowflake feels like a small perfection, a thing so finely ordered and symmetric that it seems almost designed, though it is grown by simple cold. Its six matched arms, its delicate branching, its clear translucent ice, all come together into a form that strikes the eye as complete, as somehow exactly right. And yet this perfection is the work of no hand, only of water and cold and the quiet rules of how ice grows, a beauty arising freely from the plainest of beginnings. That such order should grow on its own, from vapor and chill and the six-fold lattice, is among the deepest quiet wonders of the natural world. So the snowflake stands as a small emblem of the beauty that nature makes unbidden, a perfection grown from simple things, falling unnumbered and unseen from the winter sky. For all its delicate perfection, a snowflake is among the most fleeting of beautiful things, grown in minutes, fallen in minutes more, and melted at the first touch of warmth. It exists in its full form for only a little while, a brief life between the cloud and the melt, its intricate beauty held for a moment and then gently lost. There is a tenderness in that brevity, a beauty made more precious by how quickly it passes, the crystal blooming and fading almost in the same breath. So each snowflake is a small lesson in the loveliness of passing things, perfect and brief, given freely and let go, its beauty bound up with its fleetingness. It is a gentle thought to rest upon, this brief life of the flake, that something so finely made should last so short a while and be no less lovely for it.